YouTube land? This is Live Life Lori for another video. Today I have a special guest. This is Nara Shuler from Facking Good Food, which is a 100% plant-based restaurant in Oshawa, Ontario. So welcome, Nara.
Thank you.
So I've been to this restaurant several times. I love the food, and I just wanted to find out more information about Nara. She's like a superwoman here. She's got all these parts of vegan lifestyle in her life, so we kind of want to find out more about that. But first, let's talk about your vegan journey. So when did that start?
First of all, thank you very much for coming here.
No
Thank you
problem.
for the video and for all your support. That's amazing and really appreciate that. We're very happy. We want to share all this vegan lifestyle with everybody, so that's awesome what you're doing. Thank you. So vegan journey started with me getting diagnosed with diabetes type 2 and rejecting completely the idea of taking medication for the rest of my life. So I was desperate, didn't know what to do. Went home, started looking for alternatives to medication. My doctor said it's impossible, you have in your genes, it cannot be changed. But after reading a little bit about the subject, I decided, I came across Joe Fuhrman's book, Eat to Live, and I decided to completely change my diet according to what he suggested. I thought was a different approach, a very interesting approach, and everything that I was told that was healthy was not part of his diet. So the healthy diabetes recommendation was not part of what he was recommending, and I just plunged into what he was suggesting. I changed my diet on February 23rd, 2010.
Oh wow!
Cold turkey. Overnight. Took everything that was meat related, grain related, that was not recommended by Joe Fuhrman, went to the garbage on that very night. Not anymore. And I started eating a vegan diet.
Wow, good for you. Right overnight. That is so hard to do.
Because I was scared. I didn't want to be taking medication the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So it was very hard in the beginning. I felt very sorry about myself. I thought I would never be going to be able to eat all the things I liked. Okay, so my doctor told me that this could not happen because I had this in my genes, and I decided to try anyways. So I went back home, threw all the things in the garbage, and started the new diet. So this was September 23rd, 2010, right? I remember the day, of course. It was a very important day in my life.
Very prominent day, yeah.
After I changed my diet, it was hard, very hard in the beginning, because I started suffering, thinking I'm never going to be able to eat anything I like. But to me, it was really important not to take medication. I kind of had like this insight that I was going to go from taking medication and go to a wheelchair and have all these health issues that I see in so many people who are diabetic, and I definitely did not want that for me. So I told my doctor at this point that I was going to, he said, no, this is impossible, it cannot happen. And I said, well, I'm going to try this for 3 months, because on Fuhrman's book, he says that in 3 months you can reverse your diabetes.
Wow.
With diet only, 3 months.
That is awesome.
No medication. And I said, I'm going to try this. If nothing happens, I'll follow everything you tell me to do.
And it's not like you're losing it, like, you're not making your life worse, you know, by eating this diet.
No.
If anything, you have something to gain and nothing, there's
nothing to lose.
Right, exactly.
You're not spending more money.
Yeah.
You're not, the sacrifice is just changing the ingredients, right? So, so I suffered for a little while. I was feeling sorry for myself. Oh my God, like this is never gonna eat cheese anymore, I'm never gonna eat meat anymore, not gonna eat eggs anymore, no yogurts, no ice cream, no this, no that, like, and so then after about a week of suffering and like forcing myself to eat all the vegetables that I hated, I started feeling better. My blood sugar was going lower and lower on a daily basis. I was measuring on a daily basis. And at some point, something changed in my mind, and I looked at all the foods I was able to eat, all the vegetables I could play around. And I always loved cooking, right?
Yeah, that's
it was a hobby for me for my whole life. And I said, I like to eat pasta, but I couldn't eat pasta at the time because I was very strict in low grains.
Okay, so it was a gluten-free or?
It was gluten-free because I was eating mostly vegetables.
Okay.
So I started making pasta with spaghetti squash.
Oh.
Right? So I made a recipe I would make for a pasta with spaghetti squash, for example.
So you just veganized it?
I
made
veganized
it perfectly for you, yeah.
Exactly. And so I did with everything else. Right? As time went by, I was like, oh, I want to eat this. How can I make this with the ingredients I'm allowed to eat that are part of my diet? And went on and on and on and on. And in 3 months, I was completely diabetes free.
Wow.
No medication.
That is so
There's
awesome.
no medication that does that. There's nothing else that does that. I understand that people are told that you're going to get better with your medication. You're not. You are getting just medicated. You're not getting better.
It's like a Band-Aid. You're basically on it for life,
for
right?
life,
If you're on medications.
But with changing your diet, you will get better. Nowadays, I eat more things that I ate during those 3 months.
Yeah, a wider range of food,
A wider
right?
range. I eat grains now, which I didn't.
Okay.
And I even eat sweets sometimes, right? Not every day.
In moderation?
In moderation.
Yeah.
And my blood sugar still stands on below 6, below 5.8.
So awesome.
You know, when I started was 17.5.
Wow, what a
Normal
big
is
difference.
below 7, now is below 6 always. So
see, there's hope for anyone out there who's suffering the same thing. Look at what you can do. You can take control of your own life and change your future.
yes.
That's such a good message.
So that's why vegan started to be part of my life.
Interesting. So that's been a long time. So that's about 8 years, you said, right?
Yeah.
Wow, almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years, yeah.
So then so what happened? So after you adopted that lifestyle and you were creating all these yummy dishes and kind of veganizing everything, so what kind of started the other journey, and what kind of things did you do, I guess, before this restaurant?
Yeah. Okay, so this became something very important to me. Changing my diet was something really, really important because I did not have this knowledge. I could see that people don't have this knowledge about available to them. And my doctor was extremely surprised and never recommended that to his other patients, which is something we still discuss till this day when I go there. Why don't you recommend this to your other patients? And the answer is because you are the only patient I have who would have the strength to do that. And I do not believe in that. I believe you have the strength to do that as well, as long as you know what's best for you. And that's
do
my
your
message.
research.
Yeah. My message is go there, learn, and stop doing what causes your disease. But in terms of chronic disease, you are in control. You know where your pain is. You know where your inflammation is. You know where your discomfort is. And there's no way you can tell all this to your doctor. It took me a little while until I connected veganism with animal cruelty. And I was vegan for about 2 years when I saw the movie 12 Years Slave.
Okay.
And when I saw that movie and I'm listening to everything that people talk about slaves, it's exactly the same thing we say about animals. They don't have pain. They don't know what's going on. They don't feel anything. We can do whatever we want. It's my animal. I can do whatever I want. And that day when I was in the movie, I said, "Oh my God, that's exactly what we talk about animals."
It's like the aha moment, right?
Yeah. And then I made that connection.
Wow.
And from that moment on, I became an activist in promoting against animal cruelty as well.
Right, not
right?
just the health
Not
aspect.
just the health aspect,
Right.
but also the animal aspect of it. And then it go into environment, because then you start seeing what the animal farms do to our environment. So it's a connection that it doesn't really matter why you become vegan.
Yes,
It's
that's
not
true.
really important if you're vegan for your health or for the animals or for the environment. Any action you take in that step will help the three
Absolutely. Aspects, right?
aspects of,
Yeah.
of our planet. So that's the beautiful part of being vegan. Or I like the word vegan. I like the word vegan because the word vegan has been around a long time. When you say I'm vegan, you are stating that you don't eat animal products. You're not stating that you are eating healthy or unhealthy. You're just stating that you don't eat animals.
Exactly.
It's not part of your diet, right? So I actually like to use the word vegan because of it.
Right, so it's you've gone through the journey yourself, so you know the hardest part when people say, oh, I don't want to go vegan because I like meat. Well, guess what if we offered you a vegan version of meat? Would it change anything, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it
And my
easier.
question would be to people who say that, if you are faced with a health problem that's going to destroy your life, are you going to stick to eating the things you want and becoming more and more sick, or are you going to give yourself a chance to change the way you eat and try something different that
So
might
true.
be as delicious as what you used
And it
to
could
eat
save your
before.
life.
And it could save
So
completely
you know
save.
exactly.
Yeah.
So how I met Nara actually is when I first went vegan, I didn't really have a lot of vegan friends, and I have a couple coworkers who are vegan. My husband's not vegan. Nobody else I knew was vegan. So I was just Googling online. I need some kind of support here. I need to find other people like me that I can go out and obviously go to these restaurants and try different foods. So I stumbled across Nara's group that she has. It's called Durham Veg Fest, I guess, meetups. And we meet up every month to a different restaurant. And maybe you can tell us more about that, how that started?
Yeah, Durham Veg is an umbrella of TVA, Toronto Vegetarian Association, and it's around since 1994.
Wow.
It started with Sally Grande and her friend Anne. They both passed away, unfortunately.
Okay.
And when Sally passed away, I took the leadership of the group and continue her work. So this work is mostly Sally's work.
Right, she started it and you
and I
continued.
just cherish it a lot, so
Yeah.
I don't want it to finish. It's
Right.
very, very important to me to give her continuation to her hard work for so many years.
Right.
And her vision was to have monthly meetings in regular restaurants and to have add into their menu vegan options for people who are vegetarian. That's how it started. Like, she started with vegetarian options, not vegan.
And also, we're talking about 1994, you said?
We're talking
Imagine,
about-
there was
there's nothing,
nobody
yeah.
back, like nobody was doing
So
that kind of
what
thing.
she did with time was to build options in restaurants that were not meat added. That's why downtown Oshawa, we have so many restaurants that offer vegan options. It's because of Sally.
Wow.
It's because of Durham Veg. Her
So
work
awesome.
brought this up,
Right.
And so we continue to do this. We go every month in a different restaurant in Durham region. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a vegan restaurant. It doesn't have to be a vegetarian. It has to be a restaurant that is willing to provide and add to their menu a vegan option for when people go there and want to eat a vegan option. And that's the mandate. That's what we do.
And I think that's awesome because,
Yeah.
if you call up a restaurant and say, I have about 30, 35 people and every month we meet up at a restaurant, do you have a vegan option? If they say no, they're probably going to be thinking, oh, you know what, maybe I should consider. I didn't
Yeah.
realize so many people in
Yeah.
Oshawa or even Durham
Yeah.
would be interested in that. So it does get the ball rolling and
Yeah.
slowly change happens and here we
So,
are, right?
If you are interested, we meet every first Wednesday of each month. And you can check our website and see where we are going to meet the next month, and we go from there. Just sign up and join us.
And do you know the website?
Oh, durhamveg.ca.
Okay, perfect. So
Very
we'll put
easy.
the link down below.
Yeah.
So yes, that's great.
So Durham Veg also For the past 2 years, I have started organizing the vegan festival in Durham region, and we were very successful the first year, and we are very successful this year again, and we are hoping to continue next year with a vegan festival in Whitby. And we'll see, maybe there's some other things that are going to come up, so keep tuned at durhamveg.ca. We will be announcing new things that are coming up, and you can be part of it. When Durham Veg does something, it's always, it has been, and I want to continue to be a free entrance, so we don't charge anything, because the main goal is to promote a vegan diet.
Right.
So.
And also too, it's a whole bunch of vendors coming in, right? So these vendors have their booths set up, and then they're showing, and all these people come in from all over, really, just for everyone to see. You know, like I attended the last one, which was my first one, which was just a few months ago. And they had, you know, we had vendors selling vegan T-shirts, vegan, like anything you could think of, vegan snacks, vegan food. There was a vegan band. There was like there was so many things. But you're really supporting each other, just like what we're doing with this video, kind of spreading the word and just, you know, kind of letting people know what really is out there. And as a new vegan, you know, Googling on the internet alone at night, feeling alone, like there's this whole world out there of resources and friends, and you know.
Well, that's one thing that I feel very fortunate, because I always say I live in a bubble. I think, oh, everything is becoming vegan because everybody we're related to now is vegan or vegetarian or, you know.
All right, well, thank you so much for this chat, Nara. It's been lovely, and I learned so much about you, and I'm going to put all the links below so that anyone could contact Nara, whether it's, you know, the Veg Fest or the Veg Meetups, or to order a book, or to come into a restaurant. Like, it's like the list goes on, right? Is there any closing thing that you would like to say before we end the vlog?
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming here. This was a really nice day, and thank you everybody who's watching, and I hope to see you sometime here or at the Durham Veg Fest or any of our meetings. That will be wonderful.
All right, well, thank you so much everyone for watching, and until next time, live your life with kindness for all living beings. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, bye.